everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. A couple weeks ago I showed my Maz and Poe deck. I've actually went back through, added a few more cards, made a couple small changes to the deck. So we're still running Maz at Elite for 11 points, and we're running Poe at Elite for 18. The basic theme of the deck is we're rolling out Poe, and then rolling out Maz, and her ability lets us resolve up to 2 dice. So we're hoping to either, when we roll Poe, to get his special, or if we're not getting a special, when we roll Maz, we're hoping to get one of her 2 focus sides, so we can focus into Poe's special and discard, heavy hitting weapons like thermal detonators that do 3 damage to every character. And then when we go and claim the battlefield with the Starship graveyard, we can get those cards back. So Maz, she has 8 health, either 8 or 11 points. She has range damage, 2 focus sides, a shield side, a resource, and after you activate her, you can resolve 2 dice. Poe has 12 health, either 14 or 18 points, 2 range damage, 3 damage for a resource, disrupt, resource special, and the blank. And the special is discard a card from your hand to resolve one of the sides of it if able. If it was a vehicle, you can then pay it to pay the cost to bring it into play. We don't have any vehicles in the deck. We're basically just throwing out thermal detonators and having him blow those detonators up and dealing 3 damage to everything. Into our upgrades, so we have 2 D817 blasters. These are same from the previous deck. So 1 resource, 1 range damage, 2 range damage for a resource, +2, a shield, and 2 blanks. We have 2 holdout blasters, 2 resources, 1 range, 2 range for a resource, +2 range, shield, resource, and blank. It has ambush, so you can take another action. It also has redeploy. And we have 2 DL44 heavy blaster pistols, 3 range for a resource, +2, +2 range, 1 resource, 2 blanks, and it has ambush. You can take another action, and after you play it, you can force an opponent to remove one of their dice. We have 2 thermal detonators. So 3 resources, has 1 discard, 2 discard, resource, 2 specials, and one of them is costed. To play, you have to spot a yellow character, so Maz still has to be alive. But special is deal 3 damage to each of an opponent's characters, then discard this card from play. We're never actually probably going to actually play this. We're basically just using Poe special to get this out to hit stuff for 3 damage. We have 2 Cunning. This is a card I just added in. So 2 resources, yellow character only, 1 focus, 1 disrupt, 1 discard, 1 resource, a special, and a blank. And special is resolve a special ability on another card in play as if it were your card. So I actually put this card into my physical deck that I'm running currently. I only have 1 Maz in the deck at this point, but I won a game because I had rolled out Maz. Poe had been defeated. I rolled Maz and Cunning. I think I got like a resource on Cunning or one of the other sides that wasn't special, but I got Maz's focus. So when I rolled her, I could resolve 2 dice. So I resolved her focus to focus this into the special, and then use that special to trigger the special on Luke's lightsaber to deal 2 unblockable damage to Qui-Gon and win the game. And finally, we have 1 second chance. 3 resources, yellow character only. Before the attached character will be defeated, instead heal 5 damage from it, and this card is upgraded from play. This will hopefully, if you get this out and you get it on Maz, it'll keep her from being defeated. So basically, you put it on her, they defeat her, you heal 5 damage off of her, and then you discard this card. So it gives her a little bit more survivability. Into our supports, we actually added a couple supports in. We added in Planetary Uprising, so 2 resources. Again, it's a support. After you claim the battlefield, force an opponent to deal 2 damage to their characters distributed as they wish. This deck plays very fast, so you're probably going to be claiming the battlefield more often than not. So if you have Planetary Uprising out, you're going to be getting 2 more damage per round. We also added in 1 C3PO, so 1 resource. His sides, he has focus, discard, 2 resources, and 2 blanks. His sides are really not that important because we're going to be using him for his action. So the action is remove this die to resolve one of your dice as if it were showing a different symbol. It keeps its original value. So if you roll Poe onto his disrupt or resource side and you really want his special to go off, you roll out Maz and you can't focus into his special. If you have C3PO out, if you've rolled him, you can remove that die and make Poe's die be a special. If you rolled out Maz and she got a blank on her Cunning, you can make Cunning have a special by removing his die. So it's basically all his sides are pretty much specials at this point because you just remove it, and any die that you need to make a special, you can make a special if it's in your pool. Into our events, We have 2 hit and run, 0, so cost 0, ambush, so you can take another action after you play it. Activate one of your red characters, so you play this, activate Poe. You then use ambush to activate Maz, and then you focus into Poe's special and throw out your thermal detonator if you have it, dealing 3 damage. Very quick combo here. We have 2 Salvo, 2 resources. Resolve one of your dice showing range damage against each of an opponent's characters. So if you have Poe on his 2 damage side and you have 2 resources, you can pay 2 resources, play Salvo, and have his 2 range damage hit each of an opponent's characters. If you have 3 resources, you can actually play Salvo, resolve Poe for his 3 damage side, and hit everything for 3. This basically turns all your 2 and 3 range damage sides into infantry grenades or thermal detonators. So those are pretty cool. We have 2 Electroshock. Just 1, spot a yellow character to remove a die showing a value of 2 or lower. And into our mitigation, we have 2 Field Medic, pay 1 resource, heal 2 damage from a character. This will allow us to keep Maz alive a little bit longer. We have 2 Draw Attention, so move up to 2 damage from one character to another character and ignore shields. So if Maz is taking damage, you can pay this or play Draw Attention and move that damage to Poe, or if Poe is taking most of the damage, you can actually move damage to Maz as well. We have 2 Dug In. You can only play it if you control the battlefield, 1 resource, and you get 3 shields distributed as you wish. Since we're going to be claiming the battlefield more often than not, we're going to be able to actually play our battlefield dependent cards. So we have Dug In here. Next up, we also have Defensive Position. 1 resource, you can only play it if you control the battlefield. Remove all of an opponent's dice showing a value of 2 or higher. So again, we're claiming the battlefield fairly often. Since the deck plays fairly quickly, we'll be able to get off Dug In and Defensive Position. Then we have 1 block and 1 dodge. 2 resources, block removes all dice showing melee, and dodge removes all dice showing range damage. So that is the current state of the deck. I've tested it in Tabletop Simulator, and it works really well with Planetary Uprising. I only have 1 C3PO because it's fairly slow because it's a support, so you need to, first of all, you need to pay the resource to get him into play, then you need to roll him, and then you need to use his action. So that takes 3 parts or 3 turns to do that. So he's in there, but he's not super important to the deck. The main strategy of the deck is rolling out Poe and then using Maz to focus in resolving his special, or his range damage if you happen to land on that. Because if you don't have anything to discard in your hand that does damage, you may just resolve him for his 3 range damage if you have a resource. But you can also use his special with the DL44 Blaster, deal 3 damage that way. You can do it with a Holdout Blaster and deal 2 if you have a resource. Suppose you could do it with the DH17 and deal 1 damage to a character, but the main star is the Thermal Detonator because it hits all of an opponent's characters. And then after you claim the battlefield, any weapon or upgrade you can basically, or support, you can actually put back onto the top of your deck. So if C3PO gets destroyed, he can go on top if you claim the battlefield. But you're mostly going to be using it to claim the battlefield to get your thermal detonators back, so you can basically just keep throwing them out with Poe and having them explode. So that's the current deck. There'll be a deck list in the description below. Let me know what you think of the deck. Also remember, our giveaway is still going on for the Ray starter set, so there'll be a link for that in the description as well. That's open until April 22nd, so just go to that video, leave a comment, fill out the form, and on April 22nd, I'll be doing a drawing for that Ray starter set. I want to thank everybody for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again. Take care.